Rabbit's Search for a Little House by DeBall Kwitz. One frisky, frosty fall morning, Rabbit and her little rabbit sat shivering in their summer home under the bramble bush. Orange and gold bramble leaves fell all about them. "Our roof is falling," said Little Rabbit, "and I'm cold." "Winter will soon be here," said his mother. "It's time to find a wee little, warm little, snug little winter home. Come, Little Rabbit," she said, and took him firmly by the paw. They walked down the road until they came to a house with a high dome roof. It had fluted overhang that went all the way around to keep out the snow and rain. A sign on the front lawn said, "House for sale." "This will do nicely," said Rabbit. She knocked on the front door. "I'm up here," said a sleeping voice. They looked up, and there sat Toad, sunning himself on the roof. "Good morning," said Rabbit. "I'm looking for a wee little, warm little, snug little home for myself and my little rabbit." "This house has been sold," said Toad, "to me." He hopped off the roof and took down the house for sale sign. "Have you tried Hotel Mohole?" he asked. "It's just over the hill and the first path to the left. Very cozy accommodation, I've heard." "Thank you, Toad," said Rabbit. "Come, Little Rabbit." They walked down the road and over the hill. They took the first path to the left, and there it was, the Hotel Mohole. The sign next to the entrance read, "Rooms to let, vacancy." Rabbit knocked on the door, and a plump gray mole opened it and stood blinking in the sunlight. "Oh, dear me," she said, and disappeared. A moment later she reappeared with sunglasses on. "That's much better," she said. "Now what can I do for you? I do hope you're not selling magazines." "No," said Rabbit. "I'm looking for a wee little, warm little, snug little home for myself and my little rabbit." "Oh, goodness gracious me," said Mole. "I just rented my last room to the Turtle Brothers." Then she stepped outside her door and wrote "No" in large letters in front of the word "vacancy" on her sign. "Have you tried Shrew?" she asked. "I heard she's renting her house for the winter." "Where does she live?" asked Rabbit. "Just down the road, around the hollow old stump, and the first path to the right," said Mole. "You can't miss it," she added. "She's a very fussy landlady." "Thank you, Mole," said Rabbit. "Come, Little Rabbit." They walked down the road and around the hollow oak stump and took the first path to the right. Just ahead was a trim and tidy cottage with a well-kept lawn and a neatly swept walk that led to the front door. There was a sign that said, "Keep off the grass," and another that said, "No pets allowed." A very small sign in the window read, "House for rent, shown by appointment only. Inquire within." Rabbit lifted the shiny brass knocker and knocked on the door. The window opened and a small pointy-faced shrew peered down at them. "Well," she screamed, "what do you want?" "I am looking," said Rabbit, "for a wee little, warm little, snug little home for myself and my little rabbit." The windows closed with a bang, and in a few minutes the shrew appeared in the front door. She was carrying a large sign which she set up on the lawn. The sign read, "Rodents only. Rabbits need not apply." "Can you read?" yelled Shrew. "That means you!" And with that she darted back into her trim and tidy cottage and slammed the door. Rabbit and her little rabbit walked down Shrew's neatly swept path and out onto the road. They walked back down the road until they came to the hollow oak stump again. "I'm tired," said Little Rabbit, and he sat down on a root. Rabbit went inside the hollow oak stump and looked around. Then she came outside, sat down, and held Little Rabbit close. "My little rabbit," she said, "we shall build our own house." They gathered pebbles large and small and twigs short and tall. They picked grass and dried weeds and roofed their house with sunflower seeds. They used white birch bark for the door and spread soft green moss on the floor. They laid a walk of tiny stones. Their picket fence was white wishbones. Rabbit made a fiddle fern broom and swept out their living room. Then she put the welcome mat, and the first visitor was Miss Rat. Rabbit brought their finest plate and put the teapot on the grate. She served pumpkin seeds for 3 and acorn cups of hot safflower tea. And soon winter's wind did blow on the wee little warm little snug little home of Rabbit and her little rabbit.